Hey guys, welcome back. We're watching Apple. The stock's up about 10, 11 points. The company beat on earnings. The company beat on sales. And of course, it's all about selling more iPhones and more iPads. It looks like those numbers come in better than the expectation. We've got Ashok Kumar on the phone. He's the senior tech analyst at Rodman Renshaw in San Francisco. Ashok, it's great to have you stay with us. Thanks for staying with us through the break. Ashok, just give us your quick and dirty. This number, it's better than the expectation. Is it better than what you expected?
Oh, absolutely. And again, just to recap, right, iPhone remains the primary driver to the Apple story, representing almost 40% of top line. And of course, iPad is emerging as a key revenue driver on an incremental basis, representing probably about 6% of sales. And on a going forward basis, I think that'll continue to support significant upside to revenue and EPS. You have a richer product mix, and then you have geographic expansion, new carrier penetration, all of which should support the secular story.
Hey, Ashok, let me ask you, I mean, you know that the company is traditionally conservative with guidance, and you know they've been selling a heck of a lot of these things and a lot more bigger margin products as well. Why don't you take your best estimate and just slap on 20%, since this company consistently beats the street?
I mean, that's a very good point. Based on purely production numbers, if you look at Apple is targeting a run rate of 5 million units for iPhones per month, for the next 6 months. So if you take those numbers, you're looking at the earnings and revenue estimates that you just mentioned.
Hey, Ashok, it's Dominic here. I mean, if you're saying that iPhone is going to be the primary growth driver, or has been, how concerned should Apple be about this new Droid X and Motorola and all these new products coming out with this Google Droid platform?
One is it's not a zero-sum game because we are in the very early innings of smartphone adoption. So the two primary growth segments in the overall handset market, one is smartphones and two is value products. The full-feature products are getting squeezed out. So that being said, today's smartphone represents 16-17% of overall handset opportunity. So we are in the very early stages, both in terms of handset penetration and geographic penetration. So it's not necessarily a zero-sum game. The net is, I think, the Android and the iOS, which is the Apple operating system, will represent the bulk of the market opportunity going forward. The Nokias, the RIMs, and less so, Microsoft with its Windows operating system will be left, fighting for the crumbs.
Ashok, you're one of, we talk about this a lot, you're one of 45 analysts who has a buy on this stock. Only 4 have holds, nobody has a sell. Is there anything that could go wrong here at all? Is there any sort of worst case scenario at all?
I think it's primarily, macro, headwinds or risk at this point, right? So if you look at the consensus estimates, call for over $16 in earnings for fiscal 11. And in terms of product, pipeline, you have an iPad refresh, coming out early next year, which will have, front and back-facing cameras for video conferencing. Then you have Verizon iPhone rollout early next year. So from a product pipeline breadth and depth, I think the company is unmatched.
Hey, Ashok. Just a few seconds left here. We talk about these technology companies having so much cash on hand. Apple, no exception. It generated another $4 billion in cash over the quarter. What do you want to see Apple doing with that cash at this point?
I think, right at this point, they're basically earning, treasury rates, right, on their investment. Mm-hmm. And they're very conservative in terms of acquisitions. The last sizable acquisition was PA Semi in terms of providing the application processor.
Okay.
So, I think it'll be very strategic and tactical in terms of acquisition. We don't see any cash dividend near term.
Got it. We got to run. Ashok Kumar, Rodman Renshaw, thank you so much for breaking down that Apple report.